I don't wonder if anybody's going to go back to a desert with that book and do some scouting in there. That might be what Purity Wong's going to do.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, it's... the only thing I'm not a fan of is just the lack of fire, but we've definitely had plenty of seeds where something is in Desert Palace, and it could be even fire.
Yeah, it's not the friendliest play, but I mean, I'm looking at what they've got, and they might have more items we haven't seen yet, but I mean, the only dungeon you really have right now that you can full clear is Thieves' Town. And that's not... I mean, you can definitely do that, but it's not necessarily the best thing right now.
Yeah, all of our runners still only at 4 hearts, or except for Purdy Wong at 5, but you know, that still isn't a great feeling without a sword. You know, our runners are really quite good, but I don't think anybody really wants to do 5 heart or 4 heart blind.
Yeah. Dunka got his 5th, and Purity Wong's gonna check Gina before going into Desert, which is good. If he happens to find Fire Rod or Lamp here, then he can full clear it. Nope, just some bombs.
Which, it looks like all of our runners are still a little low on bombs even at this point. We actually saw Thelane almost want to get some of those bombs out of the Skull Woods. But unfortunately, you know, the flash tiles, or however you want to describe those, don't allow you to go backwards that way.
Uncle's gonna give us a peek at the pyramid, just a piece of heart. Well, I don't think that was intentional by Flip Heel.
And Thelane is clearing out the rest of Village of Outcast. Does get another heart container, which is a good little bonus.
There's an early big key in Desert. And there's a small key on the torch. So Purity Wong can clear everything except for land mode right now.
Yeah, so the question is, are we going to get either or both? Well, we're going to get at least one. Are we going to get both our items? And this is just a pendant for Desert Palace. Well, there's our first item.
Well, Dunka finds a heart container on Catfish. Not something that the lane's going to go for. So let's see if the other item is on the right side of Desert.
And it does look like Dunka is actually following Purdy Wong over to Desert Palace at this point.
Interesting.
Not a bad play to split up a little bit.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good item.
Now by itself, it doesn't do a ton. I mean, that lets them do Zora checks, that lets them check Hobo. So it is new checks at least.
Yeah, there's some convenience to it. Like, we could have easily gotten these other checks. Our runners are more than capable to, you know, check out Zora or the waterfall. You know, fake flippers, water walks. I'm sure they feel comfortable with those, but it does kind of just say, maybe you want to check it.
Yeah, definitely.
And we did get both items out of Desert at least, so definitely not something we're going to return to quickly. I don't think we've seen a map check for Dark World while we... Oh, never mind. We do know our 3 pendants. So we're not far away from that dreaded pedestal access. I still wouldn't put much stock in it, but these are 3 dungeons that are pretty early in the chain.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, most of the time, Ped's still not going to be anything, but when you get 3 dungeons this early that you potentially access, you have to at least be a little suspicious.
Yeah, these are, these aren't dungeons that are locked by many items. At this point, hair is only locked by either the mirror or the hook shot. We're only fire away from Desert Palace. So those are two items you will find early in most seeds. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find one or both not long from now. And none of, they're not locked by mitts. They're not locked by a bow. There's just so much that is not required to get. And there's the flute on the Zorledge.
And flute, without mitts, flute is just logical Death Mountain access. But we still don't have anything to really do up there. We don't have a mirror or a hook shot. We have a bow.
Okay, so
how do you feel about a dark pod?
I'll start with Dark Eastern and then do Dark Pod. And in the meantime, I'll hope I might have gotten a fire rod or a lamp or a sword.
That's fair.
I definitely am not against those things, but it helps. Meanwhile, Thelaine oh wait, Thelaine actually got a sword. I'm guessing that was inside of Thieves Town. That'll make Blind a lot more consistent.
And there's the first boss town. There's another sword.
Loaded Thieves Town this time.
So Blind was essentially guarding two swords. Pretty Wong activating his flutes. I expect him to flute over to Eastern area. The question is, will he go to the Dark World for pod or go straight into Eastern?
I would say I would say Eastern, especially given I just took a look at Pretty Wong's money situation and down only to, what is that, 86 or 96 rupees? So not enough for Palace of Darkness either.
Yep, that's a good call. Then go to Eastern first.
Well, and this will be really good for Purdy Wong because even if, doesn't get much out of the Eastern Palace, by that moment, Flip Heel's going to be able to say, hey, I got two swords. And maybe that sends Purdy Wong to flute back over to Kakariko into the Dark World.
That's a tough call. I don't know if I'd go to Thieves Town just for two swords.
I think the only thing that kind of has me is the idea that if we get a hook shot, if we get a mirror, not only is that, just the comfort of having the sword, it's also the ability to also get the tablets. There's a few things that swords can lock in this game, so not to mention the fact that, I don't know, I am of the personal opinion, at least, that boots without a sword is a scary proposition. Even if you know the enemy patterns, it can be really difficult to kind of sneak by them running. That sword almost just gives you that confidence to feel like I'm just running the whole time.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think it's something that you should drop everything you're doing to go get, but the next time you finish something and you have some time to go make another pickup, then you go get it. If that makes sense.
No, it does. There's a lot of different ways you could look at it, and I don't think there's a wrong answer in this scenario. Sometimes it is good to just hit what your partner's done.
It looked like the lane was gonna go into pod, but I think Dunka said, I got a bow, and the lane bailed.
And wow, we got a fake or a splash deletion from Flip Heel. Definitely not one that you might be as used to in this game. That was Samaria plus 2 bombs and using the Samaria explosion to get the overload, I guess, as you would say. So nice little sequence break for Flip Heel, being able to skip getting those flippers.
He'll have to eventually get the flippers, but I think he's probably hoping eventually he gets Mitz and Mir and just can do that with Meyer or do something else.
Yeah, considering that's... I don't want to act like the bow and the flute are, not plenty of items, but at this point, there's not a lot else that they're leading us to. And I mean, it's definitely a time save here for Flip. Thelaine doing the exact same chain of events, realizing, hey, those flippers are definitely going to be a massive benefit, but having to spend all this time just to get to this side of desert to go get those flippers in that amount of time. Flip already has the flute and the bow. So, and Thelaine had actually cleared Thieves Town even a little bit before Flip at the time.
Mm-hmm. So, like nothing in Eastern, but Pretty Wong has his first crystal. He's gonna flute. Let's see if he goes to 3 or 5. Oh, going to 1. Okay.
Not what I was expecting either, to be honest. Maybe expecting that Flip Heel's going to go do pod at this moment.
Looks like that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, with a sword, looking at Flip Heel's equipment... Sorry, Flip Heel's actually going to go to visit the pyramid, it looks like. But having a sword, having Bombos Medallion, that also kind of helps in the dark pod basement.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, we've got basically retracing steps right now. Well, I guess Pierre Wong is giving us some new stuff. There's a cape on Spec Rock, just a red rupee inside though.
Although I was gonna say, I thought, is Purdy Wong gonna try for Spike Cave? No. With that current equipment, really not enough. Unless those bottles were full.
Looks like he's gonna go for the swords.
And Flip is going to at least knock off also the Catfish play before heading to Palace of Darkness at this point. So, trying to knock out a few extra overworld checks before really going full bore on dungeons.
Yeah, I think it's looking like Palace of Darkness is where our next piece of progression is. Question is it going to be myths? Are we going to see the mirror, the hook shots? Probably one of those 3 items. That's going to be our next big piece.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of options at this point, so I think that has, I wouldn't be surprised if we get, 2 of them. I think fire is going to be the first one, though, just because we're so limited without a fire source, logically.
Yeah. Lamp or fire rod, one of them would do it. Though, an early hookshot or mirror in pod would be interesting, too. But it would have to probably be in the front of pod. Otherwise, yeah, you're right. I think we see a lamp or fire rod first. Flipio is going to be the first one into pod. Elaine was heading into pod and then bailed when Big Dunka told him that he found a bow.
Yeah, knowing that, you have the other equipment to get through it, I like the play to at least make sure you can get that bow.
Yeah, the new check's coming on Flipio's side right now. And this is bow locked.
Yeah, unfortunately, no mirror. Mirror is definitely one of the best tools for Palace of Darkness. So we're going to have a lot of running. We'll definitely get a Death Warp or two at some point.
Yeah, at least Flippio's hammer, so it's not as bad. We might see, say, hammer yump. Runners like to do the hammer yump when they don't have the mirror, just because it makes routing a little bit better. Especially since we already have the big key. That was in the first chest.
Yeah, an early big key definitely incentivizes the hammering on play here. Knowing how the keys will work out, I mean, we know that there's at least 4 keys in the front here. So you'll easily have the numbers to do that kind of directionality through.
Okay, so everything else in the front is keys now. We saw the map and we saw the big key.
And Flip just getting over that ledge there. Does grab the small key, so I think, yeah, this might be... Could have gone up instead, but, yep, going through. So, and grabbing the bombs, maybe setting up for the hammer up. We'll see.
Not right now. But this next chest has to be something. That chest right there, I think, has to be something. It has to either be... I think at this point it either has to be lamp, fire rod, mirror, or hookshot. Or mitts.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. There's no way that is not something. Just from the logical perspective, we are out of logical checks, I think, already.
I don't even think that can be a... oh, no, that can't... I don't even think that can be a small key at this point. Let's see. Okay, no, that is a small key. Then there's... okay, then it's this chest that has something big. There it is! Okay, that gives us access to a lot of Death Mountain.
Yeah. And yes, there was one item apparently we hadn't considered, pointed out by Vortex. It could have been the Cane of Burna to give us Spike Cave. That is something. And honestly, this is, this works out for the second runner into the Eastern Pod area. So for Flip Heel, he'll be able to mirror from Pod to go do Eastern Palace. Dunka will be able to do the same. And, for Thalane and Purdy Wong, it makes sense to go back for it, or to be able to, hit it second.
Meanwhile, Flip Heel finds the mitts in the dark maze. So 2 really nice pieces of progression here. Though those mitts are lamp locked.
So the game expected you to get the mirror to go to Death Mountain for probably a lamp, to come back for the Titan's myths.
Yeah, it's pretty much a double dip, as you said.
And Flip Heel's thinking here.
Yeah, if you're... I don't blame him for thinking about this, because if you're not fully confident getting to Helmasaur, these next rooms are really tricky for Dark Rooms if you're not used to them.
Yeah, especially at low... this is a 6-heart green mail situation. Helmasaur King already is a dangerous fight, and not easy to, commit to this fight.
If you're good with your NMG strats, you can... If you're good with your NMG strats, you can potentially get the turtles in the one room down pretty quickly. But if they even get a bit off pattern, then you're hunting around with your hammer to try to find them.
Yeah, and luckily that Bombos, if you're really just paying attention to sound on this, you can kind of use sound to figure out which, have you taken down a couple of turtles, or are a couple of turtles on their backs, and you can Bombos them to death. So that can help a little bit. But yeah, still a really dangerous room here.
Everybody's in pod at this point. It's a pod party.
Yeah, I mean, this seed bottlenecked you pretty hard to come here. And actually, I didn't think that... I forgot. We have another option of where progression could have been to make those myths in logic. We technically also have the front half of Swamp Palace.
Oh. That's not pleasant.
No.
All right, flip heals through the rooms, so that's the worst of it.
Yeah, really nicely done to have full health at this point. I'm sorry, Flip. I didn't mean to say that. But only 1 heart of damage, not terrible. Either way, this is definitely a 3-hit KO for the Helmasaur fight.
Now, if you used to, you can set up a spin speed here, which will extend the hammer hitbox. Oh, he's just gonna go for buffer stress, it looks like.
Yeah, nicely done. Getting the only taking 1 hit from Helmasaur, and that was when Helma kind of went a little bit berserk. So really nice, and there we go, heart container. Unfortunately, Purdy Wong taking a death that was not intentional. So had not yet gotten those Titans mitts, I believe.
Well, it looks like he did.
Oh, did he? Okay. So maybe this was intentional? To get back to the front. My mistake.
Yep, their teammate in chat confirms that was intentional for a health refill.
Yeah, so focused on Flip Heel's Helma fight there, I kind of missed it.
So Flip Heel is going into Eastern, going to get this cleared out right now. Meanwhile, we've got Big Dunka heading to Helmasaur, Pretty Wong right behind him.
Yeah, right now this really is, just a straight up, hey, how well do you execute these? Not much thought needed for the routing to just, almost follow the leader in a sense.
Yeah. Now, that meteor and the myths, that unlocks quite a bit. Like, that's a lot of Death Mountain right there. As you mentioned, that is the front of Swamp. If you want to divide some stuff, you've got Ice Palace you could send somebody to.
Yeah, so I guess the question is, where would you, if this is a team effort, who's doing what at this point? I like the idea of Ice Palace even without that logical access to it, because you got Samari, you've got Bombos, you got the Flippers even. Death Mountain's got a lot of options, and of course we do have the Mire area, at least to check the shed and what medallion is required for Mire.
Actually, Chad's bringing a good point. Flip Heel probably his best move is going to be Mire area, because you can check those locations and you can grab his flippers.
Yeah. Not a bad call there for sure. I mean, we won't find... What we do know is that the lamp will not be in Mire area. It won't be in Ice Palace. What we are looking for with those checks is maybe, hoping for a Fire Rod.
Right, so Flip Heel up to 3 dungeons done. Well, I think everybody's in dark rooms trying to get to Helma right now.
And Purdy Wong gets through. It does burn a potion at the last room there, but is through. And yep, there we go into Helmasaur, as Dunka is as well. And Thaleen is working through and just trying to get those turtles down.
It looks like Flip Heel's actually on a hold. And actually, now I think about it, this also makes sense because no lamp, no fire rod. He doesn't have a way to finish Desert if he goes there.
Cape's a nice find, and we are getting a tablet check here with Ether, so... And I think this isn't a terrible idea either, in the fact that we know this is probably logically where the seed wants us to go.
Yeah.
Logically, the seed's either saying, besides maybe a one-off mirror check of like K45, Bombo's Tablet, Graveyard Ledger, King's Tomb, the mountain is the dense area for checks. The only other real thing that we have is Front of Swamp, and that's a real bad gamble, I think, at this point.
Yeah, you really don't want to do that with hook shot. Hey, there's the lamp. And no hook shot means no Harapot. So lamp puts us back in logic. Pretty long checked Meyer. It was really quick. Looks like Quake.
Where we do get Burna and another 300 rupees, which really is good for Pretty Wong at this point. Was pretty low on money. I don't think we have many purchases left to worry about, but Pretty Wong and all of our runners are on 2 bottles, so that's going to be really nice if we do want to maybe get a potion later.
Alright, so Flipio taking on Moldorm.
And I think Pretty Wong's going for Smith Chain at this point.
Definitely a different set of checks, so kind of keeps the 2 runners separated. Not doing the same thing right now.
And, I didn't think about this, but I'm coming around on this mountain play, not just because of the fact that we had a lamp, but Flipio also getting the green pendant before going, and I think this might be, okay, I was about to say maybe going to Eastern. No, still going to check East Death Mountain, but getting the green pendant before clearing Eastern, it kind of incentivizes him to do that check later.
I thought Flipio did clear Eastern.
Oh, maybe?
I think our trackers are being just a little slow updating. So.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe, but it happens.
So there's a piece of hearts, and let's see what we get in Paradox Cave. Also have Super Bunny Cave all up here, though only the first chest of Hookshot Cave right now. And if you have the medallion, you could potentially dip into TR, but no Fire Rod means you're not getting far. And okay, now you're guaranteed to be able to dip into TR.
And that's a gamble. So we've definitely seen seeds where the keys work out perfectly. We could have that small key, big key, and just get all the way to Laser Bridge and just have no way to clear the dungeon. So we'll see if Flip takes any time into that play.
Paradox Cave was pretty much empty.
Yeah, besides that Ether Medallion, really not a great Paradox Cave today.
Yeah, that was a little weak. Well, Pretty Wong, where's he going? Maybe Bombo's Tablet next?
Yeah, he picked up Purple Chest, so this is going to be Purple Chest into probably Bombo's Tablet.
Oh, there's some silver arrows on the floating island.
And Dunka's going to give us the Ice Palace play.
Yeah, I like this play at this point. You got Bombos, you got Ice Palace access. The seed's saying, here's the Fire Rod. Oh, never mind. Somebody else found the Fire Rod. Or did they?
I don't think so.
Chat's talking about Fire Rod.
I mean, I think Chad is a firm believer in the rule of fire. Oh wait, sorry. Fire Rod is Purple Chest.
Okay, never mind. Don't. Yeah, I think that'll tell Flipio, do not go into Turtle Rock right now. Pretty long taking that fire rod going right back to Skullwoods. Finish checking that. Well, first chest has a tempered sword. Nice pickup. See if Flipheal... Yeah, Flipheal's going to go pick up those silver arrows, which I agree with at this point.
Yeah,
gotta-
given that we have all the equipment to also do something like Mire, silver arrows only makes your life better for Vitreous.
Yeah, at a minimum, you're saving time on Vitreous with this pickup, and overall, I think you're gaining time with picking this up.
And honestly, I think the best part about this play is, you know, Flipheal should go to Mire, I think, with this, and then, you know, at the same time, I think Purdy Wong clears Skull, checks the pedestal, you know, find out, do I even care? And then easily Flipheal is able to turn that around of going, hey, here's Desert, here's Hera, I've got both of them, I've already got Thieves Town, there's our 3 pendants, I can immediately pull that and go with it.
Gonna get a check of Spike Cave as Pretty Wong's dropping in on the Mothula fight.
Yeah, Duncan making quick work here of Ice Palace. Icebreaker, really such a convenient play.
I believe Dunka did find a sword in Ice Palace. That's all 4 of our swords accounted for. And it looks like Pretty Wong's having a little bit of trouble on Mothula. Gonna use a potion.
Yeah, just for magic, maybe go with... Okay, gonna still go Fire Rod here. I was gonna say maybe considering the Burna. But nope, all good. A little bit of a clencher, but gets down the Moth for powder.
Interesting trade there. Looks like Flipheal is gonna go grab his Fire Rod.
Yeah, the additional weaponry is gonna really help out, you know, throughout the rest of the seed.
And then here comes that pet check. And it's a male upgrade, not gonna get that.
Yeah, definitely not. We'll hope for one later, but we're not going to go out of our way for that.
Nope, not at all. I mean, I guess if you're Flipheal, you could really, if you really wanted to, grab it after you do Skullwoods. Or, like, whoever's the second runner to check it, but I think it depends on your health situation and everything at that point.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, what, Flipheal's 8-9 hearts, it looks like? So, 9 hearts, so I doubt he's going to really want to go for it or feel like he needs to.
And we're getting Thelaine trying to hover Hookshot Cave. And it looks like he just made one attempt at it and is bailing, which I don't blame him.
No, I think he's maybe going back for it? Yep, going back for it.
Or maybe he just accidentally picked up the pot and didn't want to...
Yeah, couldn't bonk across again.
Okay, now with that Fire Rod, Flipheal is going to do the Mire area. As Thelaine's also going to go pick up silvers.
Yeah, and I like this play. Flipheal heading right into Misery Mire. Just has to remember, yep, takes down the Murder Dactyl. Quake will not affect it. Obviously, flying types are unaffected by ground moves. And so heading into Mire first, that's a good idea. Gives you that spooky setup, of course.
Yeah, Flipheal and Pretty Wong, each skipping a different dungeon to get the other information. Right now, the big things we're still looking for. We need the Ice Rod, we need the hook shots. I think those are the 2 things we still need to find. I don't know if there's anything else.
Yeah, surprisingly, that's really it at this moment.
And the good news is with this pendant alignment, neither of those will be in GT.
Yeah, I think the one scary piece here is, which dungeon, we're down to only a couple of dungeons left in terms of actual new checks, and I think we're getting those like Flip Heel might be in our last dungeon of new information right now that's fully clearable. And if Hookshot or Ice Rod's not here, which one do you want to jump into without the ability to clear it?
That is so tough to say. I think I'd go Turtle Rock. Does it? It's so tough. But I lean a little more towards Turtle Rock. Just a guarantee of more items up there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's a tough decision. Like, I think it's an unenviable one in this kind of race. You want to do as best you can, and you try to make these smart plays. And this is that moment where you're just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, the worst case scenario the seed could do to you at this point is force you into Turtle Rock for Hookshot to then get Ice Rod out of Swamp.
Pretty much, yeah.
Something now, as Chad just kind of talked about this too, but something to keep an eye on for these runners is their dungeon counts. And as these runners are going, they want to make sure they're doing dungeons at about the same rates. You don't want one runner to get too many dungeon clears ahead of the other.
Yeah, the important thing to always consider in these is, the final, who wins this race, what team takes the win tonight is based on average time. And one of the worst feelings is, if I'm up, a bunch of dungeons on my partner, I'll finish the race first, most likely. But it's that average time, and you're really setting your partner back further. So you kind of want to have times where there's almost a maintenance in a sense of like, hey, I finished, I'm up to 6 dungeons, you're at 4. Let me do the new checks that are out of the way. You go handle some of the catch up at this moment.
Yeah, exactly. We've got Big Dunka in Turtle Rock. Did he ever? No, they haven't found the fire rod yet.
Yeah, so this is that situation we were discussing about, how many keys do we get? And okay, so that whole question of a team being in a good or bad situation, I was about to say it looked like Don't Forget to Track Us had a bit of an advantage. That hook shot really changes things.
Yeah, that does. Unfortunately, that also might take them away from the fire rod for a bit.
Yeah, I think the one thing that could kind of bring him back into it is maybe doing Smith Chain into Swamp. But I would be a little surprised if Dunka doesn't, beeline Swamp Palace.
Dunka does grab Gold Sword, which with a Trinex fight coming up, that's not a bad pickup. Gold Sword can make Trinex faster. And Purdy Wong's also heading up the mountain. Looks like he's going to go to TR. He's going to have the Fire Rod, though, so he'll find the hook shot, but I'm pretty sure he'll stay in TR.
Yeah, it's a really tempting play. I would also say, what does Don't Forget to Track Us have left at this point? What things have they actually not gone to do yet? They've got, I think the only plays really are Turtle Rock and Swamp Palace. So maybe you say, hey, we might just abandon Turtle Rock as soon as we get that hook shot and, assume that Ice Rod might be down off the mountain. And if not, we'll just go back to Turtle Rock a little later.
Mm-hmm. Flipio finally picking up those flippers. Was that an unintentional death on Dunka's side?
I'm not entirely sure because it was overworld, and definitely not usually a place runners take intentional deaths.
I'm not sure what he was going for. I took my eyes off him. Oh, he was going for Spike Cave and didn't get there. He just fell short.
Oh, darn.
And
Now,
so,
we are all tied up in the dungeon department at this point. 5 dungeons apiece across the board. And we're just a little bit different on the equipment side. You know, we've got that hook shot knowledge for Error 216, and we've got the fire rod knowledge for Don't Forget to Track Us. And it's pretty much inevitable that Don't Forget to Track Us is going to run into that hook shot, I would say momentarily.
yeah, they're about to find it. It's assuming Pretty Long goes into TR after this, which I gotta think he will.
Yeah, there's really no reason Purdy Wong doesn't go into Turtle Rock at this point. I think his team has done everything available. You know, there's
Yeah.
really no extra checks that they haven't done yet.
We haven't seen the green pendant turn in, and that's what Flipio's going for.
And I think this is a great play in the fact that it kind of gives at least a little bit of a chance for Purdy Wong to start working on Turtle Rock before Flip has to make a decision. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it won't be enough time, as you know, Purdy Wong is going to be able to do the front of Turtle Rock with that left and right side.
Yeah, I think Flipio might go to Swamp, like Dunka is. Nope, not. He's probably gonna do Ice Palace quick.
Yeah, I like this play as kind of a let your teammate figure out what the route is a little bit, see if there's something there, and then make that call.
Okay.
Sometimes this delay saves a lot of, I'll call it heartbreak later.
Yeah. Pretty Wong also gonna grab silver, so all 4 runners will have silvers for Ganon.
Yeah, those are definitely hard to pass up. No runner had already done Meyer, so you know it's going to definitely save you time across the board at the end of this race. And Flip Heel, you know, going back to hit the switch here, so he's just playing this as go mode, not worrying about any of the key layout.
The one question we still have pending, where is the Ice Rod?
Yeah, at this point, Purdy Wong getting that gold sword and the silvers before Turtle Rock, probably just hoping for Ice Rod here inside the dungeon, and then can go for that zero cycle Trinex. Meanwhile, Dunka working through our Swamp Palace, I don't think we've really seen anything yet.
I don't think so. Yeah. But he's only opened a couple chests. Pretty well remember he does not have the hook shot. Little does he knows it's a couple rooms away.
And here goes Thelane about, I think this is Smith Chain for Thelane, so gonna get that information about the, yep, here we go. There's the Smith pickup. So we are gonna get the Fire Rod info for Error 216 momentarily.
Well, small key, big key on right side of in the firelock side of TR.
Yeah, and this is going to work out very nicely for timing for Don't Forget to Track Us. Flip heel up, just dropping in on Cold Stare, takes down Cold Stare as Purdy Wong is walking into the room to get that hook shot.
They are very safe with these chain chomps. He's on green mail, and now they have the hook shots. So Don't Forget to Check Us just needs the ice rod. Era 216 needs both rods, but the lane's on his way to get his fire rod.
Yeah, gonna walk the purple chest down to also check out the Bombos tablet. And yeah, Flip Heel's gonna definitely, yep, here we go, up the mountain. As Dunka heads back into Swamp Palace, realizing, hey, we still haven't found that ice rod. So we're gonna get to see left side swamp as well.
Well, they're looking for both rods right now.
And luckily for Purdy Wong, you know, on only green mail, but does have powder, so nice safety.
I feel like we're at the point now. Yeah, it's ice rod's either going to be in swamp or TR.
Yeah, the only other option we have at this point, I believe, is Pyramid Fairy.
Well, that is a possibility. Swamp looks like swamp and Skullwoods are the crystals, and those are accessible. So I'm wondering if Flip Heel will bail after getting the hook shot, or if he's going to continue to follow Purdy Wong.
Yeah, unfortunately, Swamp Palace is not a dungeon that allows you to save your portal at Turtle Rock, so...
He can buy a little time because he has to get the keys, at least, from the left and the right side. So he can buy a little time to let Purdy Wong check a few more things. Well, Dunka's going to give us the checks on left side swamp. Delane was doing purple chest, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I can't imagine he didn't turn in purple chest.
Let's see, we got a card container. And arrows. It's not in swamp.
And Flip Heel is leaving.
Oh, according to chat, no, Delane did not. Oh, there's the confirmation in his inventory. He did not turn in the purple chest.
Wow. I'm very curious what had happened to Delane on that one, because he was on his way there.
That's a big miss, unfortunately.
And I think given what we have left, unless this is a 5/6 crystal, you know, Pyramid, Fairy, Ice Rod, I think we're about to find it here on Laser Bridge, and it's home away from home.
Let's see. There's rupees, the map. You're gonna find a small key in one of these. Is it the last chest? No!
Okay, so it is not in Turtle Rock, surprisingly. I guess this is going to be a 5/6 crystal.
Yeah, and that's an ugly Turtle Rock if that's the case. Because, yeah, it forced you to go into Turtle Rock to get the hook shot, to dip out, finish Swamp, and then go to Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, and luckily Flip Heel, you know, able to give us a little bit of extra info, or is going to be a little bit ahead on this Swamp Palace clear to then head to Skull to go do Pyramid Fairy. And did we get these King's Tomb checks?
I believe we did see them on Era 216 side. I think they did check Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. Looks like we're again seeing some division of labor between these two. Pretty Long is going to go clear Mire as Flip Heel is exploring Swamp.
Yeah, so this is definitely a little bit of a catch-up moment. Purdy Wong is going to just, let's get Flip Heel to figure out, is Ice Rod there? Is Swamp Palace a go mode dungeon? Or am I, having to go on the left side or something? In the meantime, let me get through Mire. I have to do this dungeon anyway. So it's just these little steps throughout.
The lane is heading into Swamp. I guess I have to think at this point these two just committed that it's a Pyramid Fairy.
Which two in particular?
The lane and Big Dunka.
See, the only problem there is they definitely need that Fire Rod to get it.
Oh, you're right. Skullwoods is one of the red crystals.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what happened. I can't say for sure. It's, I don't want to... I'm hoping nothing too problematic. I do look and see that, unfortunately, Dunka is offline right now, at least in terms of Twitch stream. Possibly some technical difficulties. I'm hoping that's not, something happened to cause a disconnect or something, and Thelane having to almost fly solo a little bit. I know this has happened in some races. So hard to say what could have happened. Maybe that explains the purple chest abandon. I'm not entirely sure though. But we do know nothing is actually in Swamp Palace, so...
Yeah.
Thelane rushing this dungeon doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, and I am getting confirmation from Drosy that Dunka and Thelane are still in voice chat, so Dunka is, it could just be a Twitch issue for Dunka then at this point. And that's definitely a good sign.
Yeah, one thing the league does require for these weeks is that for co-op weeks you have to use the league's channels. And so the mods can peek in and see who's in the channels, and so you can see that they're both still in the channel together.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice little bonus. It would really, I think one of the best things as members of this community is to be able to say, hey, hey, my partner disconnected. Hey, is there anything we can do? And, it's a really great thing that's available as an option to find that information out.
And as long as if Dunka's racing offline, as long as he's local recording, he's fine. He can keep racing for now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the only thing is with the delay that we enforce as part of League, it can just be a little hard to immediately get yourself back up for a restream to be able to see everything going on. So Flip Heel into Swamp Palace, though, over on the left side, after having cleared the rest of the dungeon. Purdy Wong gonna just clear up Desert Palace at this point, still waiting for that go-ahead from Flip Heel.
And by the time Purdy Wong is done in Desert, Flip Heel should have that information, or should be on the brink of getting it. And so Purdy Wong can, at a minimum, start walking towards Swamp as he waits for Flip Heel to relay the information back.
Yeah, and as soon as Flip Heel's able to say that, Purdy Wong's to be like, okay, Pyramid Fairy, let's go. That's all that's left at this point.
Feel trying to get... Yeah, that's the hook I was trying to get. Fortunately, if you don't get that too cleanly, you probably use about as much time as you save there. If the lane's going to Ice Palace, we'll see if he decides to go mode this, or if he's gonna check stuff. Dunka's already been in here, so...
Yeah, I think this has to just be a go. The question is, I'm very curious, where is the fire rod in kind of the priority here? Where is purple chest for them in terms of, when are we going to go get it? Because I could have swore Thaleen had purple chest.
Yeah, I don't know if he intentionally left it behind, or if he just forgot about it and then realized it as he was leaving, or if he thought he did it and then that's the worst possibility is he thought he did it, and so he's already written it off basically.
Meanwhile, Flip finishing up Swamp Palace, heading. I can't imagine this is Big Bomb. I don't think he has both 5-6.
He does not.
A little bit of a lapse there, unfortunately, for Flip forgetting to, I got to get through Skull. But he'll go do that now. They're aware that this is definitely Pyramid Fairy for Ice Rod. Purdy Wong had already cleared the rest of Turtle Rock, so this is the only thing left for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I definitely want to check and see what happened to Elaine and Dunka here. I'm kind of curious to ask after this race.
So I am seeing in chat that apparently Thaleen left Purple Chest behind when returning to Dark World after K45. Could that have just been a momentary lapse where, just forgot to pick it up before hitting the portal?
Oh, that might be it. So he might be aware it's not there, and he's just hoping it's nothing. Which unfortunately is not the case.
Well, I think at this point, given what we had seen so far from Era 216, I don't know if they have anything left.
Oh, okay. So one of our chatters just bringing up how it happened. He brought it back in the portal with him, but he dashed away. So he was definitely going to set up the a trick where you can basically mirror back to the light world, and the chest it'll consider the chest with you for like a few frames after you get back to the light world. So he was trying to do that, but I think he might have just completely forgotten and went straight Bombos instead.
Yeah, and really the game is quite generous with that. I want to say in one of the randomizer discords, some people did some experimentation on how far you can actually be away from Gary when you turn the lunchbox in. And there's actually quite a wide range of pixels that you can use and still get it.
Well, there's the Skullwoods Crystal, 9th dungeon done for Flipeel. He just needs to now go get that Pyramid Fairy done.
Yeah, and Purdy Wong's not going to be far behind. I think they might actually converge on ice or on that ice rod pretty much at the same time.
Technically, this isn't necessarily the Ice Rod, but whatever it is will lead to Ice Rod if it's not the Ice Rod. I guess the only other thing it looks like it could be would be the shovel. But even if it's a shovel leads to Ice Rod.
Yeah. So Flip Heel into Dark World, head into Bomb Shop. Meanwhile, Purdy Wong working through the rest of Argus. Thaleen going through Aga Tower.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just him doing this while Dunka's making other checks, or... Yeah,
I'll be very curious what's going on. Because, this is definitely still progress towards the completion, but definitely not progress in terms of, the requirement to finish when we're still missing Fire Rod for Thaleen. And I swear we at least saw did we see Lumberjack Ledge check from Thaleen or Dunka?
we did. Well, actually, I don't know if we saw it from one of them. There's the Ice Rod.
Yep, so there's that confirmed Ice Rod inside of the Pyramid Fairy. So that is go mode for team Don't Forget to Track Us.
And it looks like Dunka's back online now.
And also heading towards Aga.
Yeah, I was pretty sure both teams checked Lumberjack at the start, but yeah, this is now me. I do agree. I'm thinking now they forgot about Purple Chest.
Is it possible neither member of Error 216 checked Lumberjack and thinks this is the last location?
I'm almost certain I saw one of them check it. Yeah, I think that they might just be thinking. They might be just talking. This might be them like. This might be essentially their team meeting right now. It's like, okay, let's go through the Ega Tower and just talk through what we've done. And they might even think about it. Yeah, they might be thinking. They might have even realized as they're climbing, but they forgot. And yeah, our tracker is telling us emphatically telling us at this point. Yes, both teams did check Lumberjack, which is. So I think this is just them, like I said, they went going through Aga Tower to talk about the seed and kind of just see if they can figure out what they've missed. But over on Don't Forget to Track Us aside, they are both Flipheels and TR. Pretty Long is on his way up there.
Flipeel has to do quite a bit still in Turtle Rock. His trip in, he only got that hook shot and left.
Alright, so Dunka is out of Aga Tower. Let's see if Front of Escape. I don't know if they did the Front of Escape, so. Or maybe they didn't do Dark Cross. Yeah, as you said, Pretty Long basically can go straight to Trinex. Flipheal does have to grab some keys. Though Pretty Long should have passed along all that information. Let's see what the lane does.
And it was just the map in Dark Cross, so...
Yeah, this is not looking good for them. I think they wrote off Purple Chest.
Yeah, this definitely appears to be not sure what they've missed at this point, and yeah, unfortunately, Dunka on the map screen, thinking of where to flute is almost a telltale sign. Yeah, and the lane also, back into Misery Mire kind of confirms it. It's definitely a situation where they're not sure what it is that they've missed.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate. I mean, Duncan does have to complete Desert and Mire, so you can do that to catch up a little bit of time.
Actually,
or maybe
it looked like he did complete those while his stream was down.
Oh, yeah, he might have. Okay.
I think this is just trying to see what they might have missed, because I think they're not sure.
Yeah, I just look at Duncan's screen. He's got 5 crystals plus all 3 pendants. So, yeah, Desert and Mire are done. And I think the lane might have remembered. This is a good sign for him. Or he's gonna fake powder.
Yeah.
Now...
But this is a good sign, because going into Dark World, maybe... Although... Still draining that fire or that magic as quick as possible, but
he should see the purple chest there.
He sees it and does a double take. Please, you got it, Tulane.
Yeah, I think that's the realization of what happened.
Yeah.
Well, Purdy Wong has Trinix down, Flipio right behind. They are pretty much neck and neck. They
Yeah,
all have.
this will be great for GT routing.
And you get some half magic for your troubles too here.
Yeah, that's pretty great equipment for our upcoming journey. Yep, Thelane heading back to get that purple chest. Dunka doing the same. So I think that's the moment.
Let's see how Flipio and Purdy Wong divide. We should have probably done the GT guessing game, but it's kind of hard to do it in this mode.
You know, they're going to definitely divide and conquer on this one. Purdy Wong going to Hope Room. Gets a small key, so definitely going to continue at least over to Compass Room.
And Flipio's going full left. Let's just watch and see how they route this. As Thelane's got his Fire Rod, Dunk is about to get his Fire Rod. They just have to clear Skull Woods, go into Pyramid Fairy, get their Ice Rod, and then clear Turtle Rock. And there's the big key. And there's the mirror for Purdy Wong.
But, I mean, this is almost the ideal situation you want to run into in these kinds of races. Co-op is, you know, we enter at the same time. We can easily kind of split up GT. One person hits the left, one person hits the right. Worst case, we meet at Ice Armos.
Yeah, at this point, it looks like Don't Forget Strikers has a pretty significant lead. The only Thelane and Big Dunka do have Aga down, Aga 1 down, but that by itself is not going to be enough. Because, like I said, they have to both clear Skull Woods. They have to get to Pyramid Fairy, get their Ice Rod, then go back up and full clear TR.
Yeah, I mean, this race has been quite close. Up to that point, this was anybody's game, it felt like. You know, a little bit of difference here or there, but relatively even. It's unfortunate that, you know, kind of just losing track of Purple Chest has made such a difference at this point.
Yeah, you hate to see seeds go like this. You want to see competitive seeds. You know, it is really unfortunate how it had to play out like this. And yeah, I remember like when Thelane was going originally with that purple chest, like their team was just looking for the rods, and Don't Forget Strakas just needed Ice Rod at that point. So yeah, this could have been a very close race to finish. Flipio's through Landmo 1, Purdy Wong getting through the gauntlet still. I will say nobody decided to go pick up the pet. Everybody decided not to grab that mail upgrade.
I mean, if you were going to do it, that was the time to do it. But Flipio and Purdy Wong, you know, almost in their own individual, saying, hey, you know, who wants to kill Ganon first?
Yeah, right now Flipio's leading the pack. He's got 2 keys, doesn't have to kill the mini Helmosaurus. Purdy Wong will have to do that. Now, the one advantage that Lane and Big Dunka will have is, never mind, I was going to say they killed Aga, so they can take the faster route. Wait, where's Dunka going?
So, unfortunately, because Team Error 216 had not done the rest of Turtle Rock, you know, they're not putting all their eggs in the Pyramid Fairy basket. So, Dunka's going to head into Turtle Rock or get cut off very soon. At least, But I mean, I like the play as a safe maneuver for Duncan to want to go there. But luckily, right here, you know, Thalane's going to be able to say, no, stop, come back.
Yeah, we should see Yep, Duncan's got his flute out. There's a triple. It looked like there was a triple for Flapeel to start.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that second pattern was just not going to cooperate nicely. Or that one. Not only is Aga going with some blue balls, but also the other two copies are just not in great positions to also reflect a blue ball or an energy shot.
Yeah. I will say, usually when you get to this point in the race, at least with me and my teammates, and it might be with other teams too, when you get into this point, you kind of just start to have fun with your teammate and say, especially when you're close, all right, now it's a race between us to see who finishes first.
Definitely. I mean, the other one is always one of us is in, you know, a tower, and you go, the first chest is a small key.
So both Flapeel and Pretty Wong done with Aga 2. They remember they have to do Aga 1.
Meanwhile, Thalane heading into Turtle Rock, and Duncan getting that Ice Rod also for go mode.
Yeah, at this point, there's not a lot left to say. It's a pretty straight climb up Aga Tower for these two. The lane, meanwhile, is going to do a bit of the advanced scouting for Dunka.
Yeah, luckily, you know, both of them will not have to full clear Turtle Rock. Purdy Wong did do a full clear of the dungeon, looking for Ice Rod at the time.
It's also worth remembering, this is just week 1 of the league, so even, you know, if the results hold and it ends up being a split week for these two teams, there's still 6 weeks to play after this.
Yeah, and that's always the big thing to remember here is, you know, long season. We've got 7 weeks of the regular season before we hit the playoffs. And, you know, compared to last year, I believe it's now top 4 teams from every division make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, there's plenty of space for these teams to, you know, shake a rough week off and, you know, come back in the next one and just continue to try to make it. The Invitational League, however, is also quite the stacked group of competitors across the board. You know, these are truly some of the best players in the community. So, like, you just will not have an off week. Or a week off, as it were.
Mm-hmm. I mean, these players will have weeks off.
Yeah.
But your team won't. You know, this is the time of the seed where Flapeel is telling Pretty Wong about the lovely Aga blue ball patterns.
Yeah, and we're seeing like some micro optimization here of like, hey, try to hit him to where his next position might be. Like, you're kind of seeing that with Purdy Wong of like, hey, can I bounce him to the middle of the room? Maybe a little bit closer to where he might be next. Like you saw that on that last shot for Purdy Wong, you know, knocking Aga up because you knew he was going for his lightning position.
That's
And
Agger one
yes,
down.
it does save a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's frames, but they add up. Flip heel, dropping into Ganon first. Gold sword, silver arrows. This is about as easy as it can get.
Yeah, pretty much a guaranteed 1-and-1 coming here for Flip. Just 6 slashes of the gold sword for each of these phases.
You'll do have to be careful. Those fire bats do 4 hearts of damage. A Ganon hug will do 8 hearts of damage.
But gets through phases 1 and 2. Does allow that fire bat for the start of phase 3, but should have it in control now.
Yeah. And honestly, that one hit by a fire bat might have been intentional, just because you want to get rid of the stupid sword beams at this point.
Agreed. But down goes Trinex for Thalane as Dunka is now into the dark maze of Turtle Rock. And with that, now Flip heel entering into phase 4 of Ganon. And 2 doubles.
Yep. That's Ganon down for Flip heel. Looks like he'll be first to finish, and Pretty Wong is not far behind.
And there we go. Flip heel finishing in first place overall with the official race time of 1:25.48. And yeah, Purdy Wong should not be too far behind here.
I'm gonna feel bad if we won.
There's that first silver.
Oh! I fell down.
Oh, ouch. Unfortunate there. Firebat sending Purdy Wong off the ledge. Gonna have to restart that Ganon fight.
No.
And it looks like we're getting a little bit of insight from their team right now.
Okay, no more goofing around. I gotta. Okay.
We might be welcoming our third commentator for a moment. Alright, so Purdy Wong's on his second attempt on Ganon.
Yeah, definitely not. You know, there's definitely some frustration there.
Oh yeah, because you just finished and you're afraid that they're right behind you, and you don't want to, you don't want to see them finish while you're doing your second fight. Of course, they don't know it, but they are significantly ahead at this point, so that's probably not going to affect much.
Yeah. Or just the personal hit to the ego at that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But Purdy Wong through phase 3 again, on to phase 4, as Dunka and Thalane are both in GT. Thalane now climbing the tower as Dunka is heading over to left side to get that big key.
Ooh, that's a Ganon hug. He's got to be careful, because any hit with this point will take him out. He's just going to take the potion for safety.
I don't blame him at that point. And there we go. Down goes Ganon for Purdy Wong. Just has to wait now for that bridge. And there we go. Purdy Wong finishing up with an official time of 1:28.25. Thus, closing out this race for Don't Forget to Track Us, getting that first win of the season.
These two teams will split the week at 1-1, each getting 3 points to start the league. The start of the league season.
And it does appear that Thalane and Dunka will be closing out or finishing out this seed. But we are now joined by Flip Heel and Purdy Wong. GG's.
GG.
So I have looked a little bit in the race room, and there was some chat about what had happened. But, you know, what are your guys' thoughts on the seed?
felt bad about not getting that hook shot in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate. So like, I was clearing the mountain, and then PRD was like, "Hey, I got the fire rod from Smith Chain." So I was like, I probably shouldn't dip TR in the case something's like Laser Bridge. I mean, of course, you could have got it at chain jumps, but so we felt a little behind, and we were just kind of hoping that they like did purple chest late or something, and apparently, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. The two of you or the two teams took opposite routes there. Purple Chest kind of became a secondary location for Arrow 216, while for you guys, that was almost, the first or one of the earlier mid checks you ran.
Yeah, it's mostly because I'm a chicken. Like, I didn't want to go to Mire without a lamp. I didn't really want to do Cold Stare at the time. So I was like, oh, let's just do some other checks really quickly. And there was a bunch of checks along the way on Smith Chain because you could do K45 all the way to Bombas Tablet. So I just decided to check that first.
Yeah, I mean, this seed was pretty generous really early. I mean, you had Dark World access in almost, within those first 5 to 10 minutes, and then slowed down quite a bit, just kind of funneling you into Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, like I said, it was nice, and then it was linear for that, and then once you get the mountain, I love the required logical double dip a pod. I'm sure no one did that, but
No, all four of you had an excellent work through Palace of Darkness to get through Helmasaur King that first trip.
yeah, like that definitely felt a little like worrying because I think it's like on like 6 hearts or so, 7, and obviously in the dark, but everyone had at least safeties and stuff, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, between the safeties, I believe everybody also had a Bombos medallion available to them.
Yeah, and the turtles were dropping hearts too.
Oh yeah, definitely a nice prize pack to help out.
I thank Thieves Town for bailing me out with the sword. I was like not looking forward to Hammer or Samarium blind. It's doable, but always a nice pickup.
And then, of course, getting rewarded with a second sword off of blind, so perfect timing there, making also pod a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like something else worked out. Like I think I did Ice Palace while PRD was doing something, and it gave him time to find some kind of key progressive item. Was that when you're on the mountain, maybe?
Yeah, I think I might have found hookshot. Yeah, because I ended up finding that hookshot before you were deciding whether to go into swamp or finish up ice first. And I ended up finding the hookshot first.
Meanwhile, Fellaine finishing off Ganon and crossing the bridge, finishing with a time of 1:32:37, and Dunka about to drop in on Ganon.
I think we did notice that at one point that between the two of you, sometimes like if you were trying to figure out if you should go somewhere or not, one of you would basically scout it out while the other would go and just clear out a dungeon that was already done, just to buy the other a little bit of time.
Yeah, the ending was a bit awkward too for me because so we kind of messed up. None of us checked the map for a long time. So at one point, Peter's like, I have a red crystal, and I don't remember where it was from. So I think I just kind of assumed it was pod. So then once I finished Swamp, that was pretty silly. I got up to there, I was like, oh, dang it, it's Skull.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we saw you walking up towards the bomb shop. We're like, oh, he knows it's Pyramid Fairy. Like, you guys know that's what it is. And then you walk in and you do this double take of like, oh wait, where's the big bomb?
I think we had Graveyard Ledge left, but I was like, we already made the left side swamp play. That felt bad. I was like, we pretty much full cleared the whole seed anyway, because I checked Catfish, so I was like, this hookshot's got to lead to something, right?
Yeah, we felt like it would have been, like, basically if the seed gave you Ice Rod before hookshot, then we figured we were pretty hosed anyways, so we kind of had to keep following all the hookshot locations.
And there's Big Dunka finishing up Ganon, and as soon as he crossed the bridge, it's also finished the official time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 33 seconds. We also have them now joining us here in chat as well. GG,
Hey.
guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
GG's.
GG's.
GG.
Well, I'm glad we got that out in the open.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, you guys were talking about it in your chat, but we unfortunately, you had one big snafu in this one.
Yeah. So what happened is we were like discussing what we're gonna do next, and I was a bit focused like on the tracker instead of the game, and just dashed past what's his name, like Gary, I think, right? And yeah, I still think honestly though we would have still lost by like a minute or two, maybe more, because we might have skipped Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, there were a couple logical double dips for dungeons in this one. Technically, Pod was a required double dip. Turtle Rock was a required double dip. Desert, I think, was technically required double dip. I don't remember how that one.
That was
much.
Flippers, I believe.
Yeah,
First fire source was on the mountain, so yeah, I think
Right,
so.
right.
Although I don't think you actually got anything out of Desert required logically. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Flute.
The flute
Yeah, because you
was.
needed flute for you flippers to get the flute. Yeah.
Yep. Nope, you're right.
Yeah, but you also got the nice start in this one. Like first chest you both opened.
We were joking right before it started. Is like we're just gonna open the Sank chest, right? It's like, yeah, it's gonna be boots. We'll be fine.
Whenever we casually race PRD and then some of our other friends, he's almost always like boots, even though they're never there. And so I got a good chuckle out of that. Yeah, did the other person like immediately get the boost and just like save and quit and go to like the back of escape? It just felt so good.
Oh no, we both started at Sank, so we just both got.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the seed in general was like it was definitely fine. I made a small mistake by not dipping into T-Rock for a hookshot and leaving that for Dunker, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, we did the same thing, but mainly because PRD found the fire rod like right as I was like finishing that up. So I was like, I don't want to dip it without the fire rod.
Oh yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely a close race for a good amount. I think when you all basically at one point, all four of you were in pod at the same time. So that's how close it was, at least at one point in this.
You get to see like 4 black screens
I think
simultaneously.
I think we had 3 simultaneous black screens. I don't think we ever got to 4.
Yeah, I think Flip was a little bit ahead in the pod clear. So we were down to the 3 other of you all working through Dark Pod Basement at the same time.
That was actually a pretty friendly layout given like the items and stuff for the second person.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't even have to technically. I forgot the specifics, but
You gotta get big key from first chest and then go right side, go to the back, like pick up the other key on the like lobby bridge or whatever you want to call it, and then go to the back, get mirror, hammer jump for mids, and then or was it mirror? I think it was mirror, right?
yeah,
Yes.
hell away.
Yeah, and then get one additional key from that dark room in the back, mirror to front, and then just go boss.
Oh, so that's what I should have done.
Oh.
So
I blame that partially on my. I think I confused them with the basement and the root or the maze, or like confused the items or vice versa them or something.
Yeah, communication is tough sometimes. Honestly, I think that's what this co-op weeks or what these co-op weeks are about, right?
So it makes it so fun too, though, right?
Yeah, that's true. Especially week 4 is gonna be interesting.
Oh, you can guess who's piloting.
It's not me. But yeah. GG's again to you guys. I think you're
Yeah,
pretty strong opponents, so definitely well earned, in my opinion.
Thanks. Yeah, I greatly appreciate that. I was, honestly dreading, playing one of the strongest teams. Any team's strong, but it felt pretty good.
Yeah, same. I think it was 2 very good races, in my opinion. Like, I didn't watch this one, but I watched a bunch from the other one, and that seemed pretty close as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of this groups stage, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and this does conclude, both your teams' week 1. I just glanced at the schedules for next week. I see for Error 216, it is 2 Pearl, 2 Furious. And then I saw for Don't Forget to Track Us, kind of a Season 3 rematch in a sense, as you go against the newly formed Team Go. Previously, We Need a Mentor.
Yeah, we we knocked them out of the playoffs last season, so I'm sure they're looking for blood this time. Should be a great race week.
And then, yeah, next week you get more. You basically get more of all dungeons. This time with keys mixed in. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this league plays out. Yeah, this is just week 1, and still a lot to play. So see how this plays out for both of your teams.
Yeah, league's early. 6 weeks more to go.
Yep, exactly. I think that's all I've got. Anything else?
No, just the usual. Thanks for the commentary, the restream, obviously also the tracking, and especially to our opponents for the good races, and Dunker for joining me on this.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It was great.
Yeah, thanks to you as well. Make sure to give all of our runners a follow. Their links are in the chat right now. They put on a good race for us today, so make sure to give them a follow. Also, yeah, thanks to our trackers today, who were Skele and Drossi. And thanks to Jesse, aka Radical Sniper, for joining me here.
It's been a pleasure. Just to kind of give everybody an idea of what's also coming up. In terms of league schedule for tomorrow, I do not see any currently scheduled for SpeedGaming. I know there is some effort to get at least some races restreamed on the ALTTPR league channels. So I do see a 4 o'clock matchup tomorrow between WJPDTB, hey, your team, over on the ALTTPR league against Team Hime. And then I also see tomorrow night late at 11 p.m. or 11:10 p.m. we do have Swirly Coin Brewing versus the Immortals over on SpeedGaming 2. So there are still some races being streamed on the SpeedGaming networks, but I do believe it's a pretty full schedule on all the SpeedGaming networks across all the different tournaments going on.
But actually, talking about Swirly Coin Brewing and the Immortals, they are actually also playing right now over on SpeedGaming 5.
Ah.
They are finishing off our day with a race right now. So if you're looking for a little more action to watch tonight, head over to SpeedGaming 5 after this and catch them to finish off the night. Yeah, I think with that we can wrap up here. Yeah, thanks for joining me again. Let you take us out for tonight.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for watching us, and be sure to keep posted to the SpeedGaming networks, as this is, as we've said multiple times, just the first week of the season, so plenty of racing over the next few months. But until then, have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.